So we always end with 7 quick questions. These are our quick fire questions, which are not designed to trap you in any way, but we're just looking for some quick answers and hopefully kind of makes everybody think a little bit themselves. So question 1, what's the one thing that you wish you'd known when you began your work with geology paleontology?
Ooh. I really can't think of anything.
Does it surprise you that you're still doing this work, that you know, how much of your time is now dedicated to it versus your sort of normal working life?
Put that way, I never thought it would lead to this. I didn't think I'd become an author. I wanted to. I didn't realize that people would want to give me awards and stuff like that. So if I'd known that at the outset, I might have become complacent. So I'm glad I didn't.
Okay, that's great. Do you have a favourite film or book about or featuring geology or paleontology?
Jurassic Park.
Okay. What site or find from anywhere in the world do you wish you'd had a chance to work on? Is there any important site in the field?
I've always wanted to go to Montana and one of those holidays where you dig up a dinosaur as part of a team that's there. I doubt if I'm going to achieve that now. But then again, my interest in dinosaurs has waned over the years as well. Because dinosaur information is everywhere. It's extremely well funded in America, especially. But yeah, I'm glad that I found Leathen Bar.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my big career achievements and something I never even thought I'd find. I stumbled on it by just going there and finding it.
Okay. Question 4, what profession other than your own would you have liked to have attempted? Is there anything you would want to have done different career-wise?
I always wanted to be a scientist. And I saw myself as a chemist or something like that. And then I did O-level chemistry and thought, this is boring as hell, really. So I then wanted to become a geologist. And I have to say, reflecting on, what's the best way to put this? In the 60s, the possibility to go to university to study geology was much more restricted than it is now. Out of 32 kids in my class, only one went to university, and he was the son of a school teacher. And I think that kind of epitomizes the situation in the 60s, where there was a bit of social selection going on through academia, and it was never going to be for me. But then, what's happened since then has proven all that wrong. I've achieved more than many academics do, and I'm not boasting. I've been told that, and I remember a lady from the Open University said to me, "You should do a earth science course." And Nigel was sitting there, and he said, "No, you won't. You've done it the hard way."
Okay, so you mentioned the dangers of cattle earlier. What's the strangest scenario or location where you've carried out field work, or the most dangerous?
The most dangerous has to be Libya, because wandering out into the Sahara Desert in the 70s and 80s was fraught with danger. There were bandits going around. There were military police who were totally unregulated. And you could be arrested at the drop of a hat, just for being in a certain place or not having the right documents on you, which we never had at that time, because the service company I worked for weren't so scrupulous about making sure you had all the right paperwork. So I would say, yeah. And the other place used to be Burn, where the farmer used to put a big white bull in the field where the fish bed is. And he said, I'll never put a dangerous beast in the field where I know you'll be working, so don't worry about it. And I can count maybe 5, 6 times where I found myself sitting up on the top of a cliff staring down at the bull who's staring up at me. And I just didn't believe the farmer. The bull was far more convincing than the farmer.
Question 6. What's the one common myth about geology, paleontology that you'd like to debunk?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. And it refers to your field of the work. Every time you mention to a new farmer or landowner or something like that, you're looking for fossils on their field, you say, we've got a ring cairn at the top of the hill there. And I say, paleontology, it's not archaeology.
That's really interesting to know, because all archaeologists get are, oh, have you dug up any dinosaurs? So it's good to know it works both ways.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to lean into it and just go, yeah, sure.
I'll stop trying to explain now.
Yeah. The last question. What is your must-visit geological site or museum?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What's your must-visit geological site or museum, or a favourite site or museum? Somewhere that, aside from Elgin Museum, which obviously everybody should come to, of
course,
in our open season. Yeah, is there anywhere else that you really enjoyed visiting?
Yes. About 8 years ago, I attended a conference in Canada on the Burgess Shale, which is relates to the Cambrian explosion of all animal forms that we know nowadays. So vertebrates, crustaceans, worms, all seem to appear about 520 million years ago. And the classic site for that is the Burgess Shale in Canada on Mount Field. And part of the conference, which was very well attended, I took my wife with me, and she was scared by a moose on the main street of Banff while I was at the conference. But at the end of the conference, there was a excursion to the Burgess Shale exposure on the top of Mount Field, led by the World Authority on the site, Derek Briggs. And it was the first time in a long time that I'd climbed any kind of hill. So it took us 5 hours to hike up on a switchback trail. We got to the top. We sat in the quarry, and Derek Briggs entertained us and told us all about it. And they have a safe up there that they keep specimens in, so you get to see all the specimens. You're not allowed to take anything. I asked if I could take a hand sample or just the lithology, and I was told no. That's how paranoid they are. Then, on the way back down, I got separated from the main group, and we took a different route down. So what they said was, if anyone gets separated, we'll build cairns for you to navigate by. So you just look for one cairn, and then look for another one about 100 yards on, and just follow the cairns. And I got to the bottom, really having had a great day, lost my water bottle, completely dehydrated, and there's a note pinned to a tree saying, "Bear on the right." And it was a black bear. And it was right next to the road, because that's where black bears feed. All the berry bushes are next to the road, just at the edge of the trees. And that's where people see the black bears, because that's where they feed on the berries. But they also eat people. Yeah. And it said, "Bear on the right." And we were told that if you encounter a bear, make as much noise as you can, whack your walking sticks off the ground, whistle, shout, sing, everything, because the bear will run away rather than charge. And I started doing that, and then 2 wardens came up, and they just led me down to the roadside. I never actually saw the bear, but he was there.
Gosh. Yeah, Lethenbar's looking quite tame after that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
at least the bull's not going to eat you, is it? Well, thank you very much for your time today, Bob. It's been really fascinating talking with you. I'm sure our audience are going to really enjoy watching this one back. And we'll just say to people, you know, remember to go up to Cromarty as well, Elgin Museum, and have a look at the Hugh Miller Museum up there. We'll get some links in the text under the video, so that people can find out a bit more about Scottish Fossil Code, about local geology societies as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.